Mark out Mania. Mark out Mania. It's Saturday morning and we're marking out on Mark Out Mania. Hola, amigos.
Welcome to another for our first Halloween edition. Scary movies.
What is up, people? What's going on, guys? How we doing today on this early Saturday after watching 18 innings of Dodger baseball?
I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm awake.
We like to welcome our very special guest, Lucha Gringo, the Professor Casey.
Hey guys,
what's up, Casey? Man, what's up, man?
Dude, you guys say you're gonna talk some horror movies, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this podcast, and then I'm like, wait, this is Saturdays. I know that, and then I look and I'm like, they record when? But it's all good because I want to talk horror movies with you guys. I actually just launched a website where me and my buddy Zach are talking about horror movies and like all kinds of shit that we like. So what better way to celebrate Halloween than with you guys and talking some horror movies, man. I love it because we're going to do it on MMM show tomorrow too, if they like it or not.
Well, great. Cool, man. Cool. All of us here appreciate you joining us.
Yes.
I know it's mad early on the West Coast, so thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, it's all good, dude. Just guzzling some Rice Krispie treats. I'll be good. I'll be good.
That's all good. I'm guzzling some Modelo, so there we go.
Quick shout out to the chat room. We got Meef, we got Angie, we got YYH.
Double Y, double H. What's up, Angie? How you doing, hon?
We have more MMM show than MMM show has sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Hey, this is what happens when they record on my school nights. So, yeah. This is it. You know what? I don't have class this morning. That's another reason you guys got me on the podcast for sure.
Yeah.
Well, first things first. The gods have answered my prayer. We finally got a Lucha Underground episode where they showed an entire match, the whole match. It's in its entirety. No editing, no bullshit, no 3-minute match. The whole thing, the whole show is one match, and I love every minute of it.
It just took us the whole season, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much.
20 episodes in.
Yeah, exactly. But it was well worth it, man, because that match was unbelievable.
And it was worth, I got to say it was worth seeing Justin's reactions at ringside also to the finish. Let's just say you have to we really like AR Fox / Dante Fox on the MMM show, and certain outcomes make us very sad. Let's put it that way. And this whole season made us very sad. But I mean, a lot of it was stuff beyond their control and all that. But like, man, you get the guy back, and this is how you do him dirty. Come on.
Yeah, they did him dirty, all right.
Also, Casey does an amazing impersonation of Papa Cueto.
Oh. Yeah, I do. Sometimes on the MMM show. I actually, the last time I did it, I actually did it to Eric Van Wagenen, and I felt kind of uncomfortable. Because he was talking about how like how the roof of the temple leaked, and I was like yelling shit like, "Thanks for signing that lease, Eric." Just for that, the next season is all white people. So that's also something we always throw in a thing about Papa Cueto only hiring new white wrestlers, which is also a thing beyond their control. Visas got fucked up, but which sucks because all of the rumored people that I've heard might have come in. I was like, yeah, I'm down for that, and then they never came in. So it's like, all right, you know what? I like Sonny Kiss. I like Sammy G. They're all good. Bring them in. That's cool. And then it's okay.
Hey Casey, I've had an idea for a few weeks here that would be I think would be a cool trio in the temple. Guys to draft from AAA. You put Hijo del Vikingo with Monster Clown and Taurus.
See, I love all three of those guys. I could even see them as singles there and being very successful. Taurus is like a #1 pick for me. He's someone that I think not only should they bring in, I think they should just sign him completely away from AAA. Like, he's one of those guys, like, if I was PWG, and you know how they'll get a Lucha dude, he'll come in, he'll blow up huge, and then they won't get to use him as much. Like Phoenix and Pentagon first, and now you're going to see that with Bandito and Flamita. Where's Nightclaw? And you know, the thing is, like, he could be one of those guys, but you have to have the smaller luchadors to work with him, because in my opinion,
you do.
Taurus is the best base Rudo for high flyer guys to base off of in the business today. And Lucha Underground, you know, they got Big Bad Steve. He's a good base. He's up there. He works best with Aerostar. Taurus, I've seen work best with multiple opponents like that, and with guys with a lot less experience and gracefulness and ability than Aerostar. So I got to give him the edge for making people look good and being a great base. Chessman used to be that way too. Not so much now. He kind of gets his shit in, and you know, he's later in his career. You know.
Yeah, Chessman. I remember him.
Yeah, because like, man, if you could make some of the people look good that he made look good in the late 90s, you're like a saint of wrestling. And like, I think a lot, you know, AAA La Parka, him against Chessman's a good match. Him against everyone else, not so much, you know.
Nice. Nice, good job.
So, you know, so now we got Jake Strong as Gift to the Gods.
And then we get Johnny Mundo going his He-Man / Thanos pose. It was kind of hot.
Yeah, he needs like a power sword or something. Because you know what? DJ and Roach, I don't know about Eric Van Wagenen, but DJ and Roach, huge He-Man fans. We talk about He-Man from time to time. And Chris DeJoseph, you know, his favorite He-Man character is Faker. You heard it here first. And that's why he has like Son of Madness and shit like that. But actually, you didn't hear it here first, because I've said it so many times. I think if you search his tweets, there's one saying my favorite He-Man character is not Faker. That's a lie. But Chris Roach, big fan too. He's a Merman guy for sure.
Merman,
Merman's dope. And I gotta tell you, man, in Chris Roach news, a Truth or Dare movie went up on Netflix, and I got all excited, and I haven't had a chance to correct this. I'm like, oh, dude, it's Chris Roach's Truth or Dare that was just in the theaters. No, it's just some other movie called Truth or Dare. At least it's a horror movie. At least it wasn't like the fucking Madonna movie, but I still got it wrong.
Which is also horror.
Yeah. I have the power. He was in his Thanos pose, his He-Man pose. That looked awesome. I love that movie. That was a great vignette, by the way. That was a great vignette.
Yeah, wasn't he like, this is incredible?
Yeah, this is incredible. Yeah. Then you had the special effects. It was kind of cool.
I liked when he's punching in the air. It's like,
yeah, exactly. Pew, pew, pew. It's like, yes, I can't stop this. I can't stop.
That I hope you guys liked it, because that was the entire season's effects budget. In that one.
Three nerds in the back going pew pew.
How do we feel about Jake Strong as the as Gift of the Gods?
I don't know if I want to ruin the positive vibe of your show for saying how I really feel about Jake Strong.
Say what you feel, Casey.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, you know, I'm cool with them not having a lot of luchadores available, and I understand that. But having the ones that you have available and repeatedly feeding them to an ex-WWE guy just says that their product is better than yours. And yeah, which sucks, because I do like Jake Strong. He's supposedly like the nicest guy in the world. I think he does great work. Do I want to see him beat Drago and Aerostar 2-on-1 when they have both of those guys available? No, I don't. Do I want to see him go over Cuerno? No.
No, right, exactly. I agree with that. But he's being booked the right way in Lucha Underground. He was
they're
not
making him a
booked
monster.
well. Yeah, he was not booked well in WWE. He was booked like shit. Yeah,
and I do feel like they quietly revealed that he's the limo guy also, which is weird. Because he started talking in that voice. So now he's also a major part of the mythos when he wasn't originally supposed to be. At least I don't know, dude. I never got like a real answer on who the limo guy was supposed to be. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to be Wagner, and it wasn't. That's not how they debuted him. And the reason I thought it was Wagner is because he showed up right when they were doing those limo guy vignettes, like the taping.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like, okay, I thought it was going to be him. It wasn't. And then, but I imagine if they would have had it be him, it would have worked out the same way as him being B's protege and then breaking away and turning out that he had like another motive or something. So it kind of works out that way, which makes me wonder if the rumors I heard were true and they just changed their mind, but people change their minds all the time. They couldn't have gone all heavy on an angle with Wagner because he wasn't available a lot, I mean, you don't even see him this season. So it's like, you gotta think about that. You gotta think about
all of Dos Equis commercials.
Yeah, exactly. He's busy being the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah, there it is.
And it's a direct conflict with the Modelo. So
yeah, exactly. I don't have a problem with Strong as the Gift of God's champion. I love the way he's being booked. He's definitely like the monster heel. Actually, it's cool. I don't like the fact that he's being fed the luchadors, as you said, Casey. I don't like that, but he's being used well. So let's see where this goes.
I also have a gut feeling this isn't based on any like results or anything because I didn't even go to the tapings this season, and I've been avoiding spoilers like crazy. But I have a feeling that he's going to end up killing off Matanza at the end of the season too. So
really,
because Jeff Cobb very, very publicly has been saying that this season is his last season with Lucha Underground. So yeah, so I think something fucked up's going to happen.
I had not heard
no
this.
more Matanza. What kind of world do we live in?
No more Matanza's body, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
He's already been established as a character that can be put in something else, so you never know. But there's a lot of ways they can go with that. But man, it sucks. It sucks because I like Matanza. I like him so much that I was cheering for him in Aztec Warfare. When he debuted, and Rob Viper was giving me shit for being a monster and not cheering for Rey Mysterio because he was at the tapings that week. And,
fuck Rey Mysterio, Matanza, baby.
Well, hey,
I love both. I really do. I do, but yeah, it's.
I love Matanza from the beginning because he looks like Jaggy from Fist of the North Star.
Yeah.
My thing is, and this is coming from. Zeus. This is coming from a dude that has a Jaggy wallpaper on his PS4 right now. I get the Splatterhouse vibe myself, and I'm a big Splatterhouse fan. So yeah, it's Which, if you want a good Halloween video game to play, there you go, man.
Cool. It was a great match. Yeah, and I love the fact that that it took the entire hour. Finally, LU listened. Because I hate the edited matches. I hate the 5-minute matches. No, it was good. It was paced well. It was nicely done. I loved it. Everybody knew Strong was going over. Everybody knew already.
Yeah, I got to tell you guys, though, as someone that used to go to the tapings for the first 3 seasons, I went to almost all of them. Yeah. I went to every episode of season 2. Season 3, I got the flu from Byron's dumbass, and I missed a bunch of tapings.
Nice.
Yeah, because you miss one weekend, you're fucked. Because they do like 4 shows a week. Now it's even more. Like I think they do like 6 because they tape on Fridays now too. But the edited matches, sometimes it helps the match. Like a lot of people are like, man, I wish I saw the unedited version of Vampiro versus Pentagon. Yeah. No, enjoy the one you got, dude. All you're missing is the table spot with the fire not working and them having to light it back on fire again and stuff like that. So like Yeah, the edited version helped that match quite a bit.
Really?
Even Vampiro said it's like 12 minutes of him, slowly getting up because he's so fucking old and in poor health.
Yeah, that's actually very accurate. Like when they did the whole stretcher spot, they had a hard time getting the ambulance into the temple right. So he had to sit there and sell and slowly get up when he's already kind of slowly getting up. And so that took a lot of time too. So that's the kind of thing you're missing sometimes. That's not a usual case though. Sometimes you're missing really good stuff that gets cut, or like entire heel heat segments, which I tend to notice missing this season quite a bit, or like a comeback and a cutoff or something like that. Like you're missing an essential part of the storytelling of the match, in my opinion, sometimes. But I didn't see the matches to compare it to, so it just feels like it's missing. But I don't know what's missing. Justin does, like Byron does, Jim does. They went to the tapings, but yeah, me not so much. But it's weird that we can watch it without going to the tapings and still feel like something's missing. But it's also because you'll get fucking teleportation editing, right? Like someone will be in a different place, so they come back,
Yeah.
I remember. Oh, I remember on the Death Valley Driver during the first season, you and some other ones used to give us little details about the Sexy Star stuff.
Oh yeah, she had to retape whole matches, man.
Yeah.
Get out of here, for real?
Yeah, that sucked. Because I'm not a fan of hers, and I had to see double the Sexy Star than the rest of the people watching the season. It sucked.
Why were they retaping her matches? What, like, did she suck that bad?
Yes. Wasn't she like botch like a lot? And
yeah, but they also did like this weird thing where like they went a completely different direction with one of her matches. So like, you know how she got like the Gift of the Gods belt, but she had to win her medallion before that?
Yeah.
So they had a match. What you saw on TV was her wrestle Superfly and then beat him in like 2 seconds. And then Marty the Moth came in and challenged her. They wrestled for the coin, right? There was a whole other taping with homeboy Superfly coming in and doing a long match with her, which I didn't even think was bad. But they didn't like how it turned out, and they went the other way, and Superfly never came back. So
wow,
yeah, it kind of sucked because I know Superfly was going into that match with a broken nose and a sprained neck, so he was like,
and he worked the whole match, and it wasn't even kept.
Right, and then they had him lose in 2 seconds, and then he never got to come back. So he must have pissed somebody off somehow. I don't know the deal with that, which it kind of sucks because I'm a fan of his work. And he seems like a cool dude. So yeah, it kind of sucks that happened, but that's like the most egregious example. They've had to retape other people's matches too, like that trios tournament. One of the matches with Killshot, the Mac, and Big Rick as a team, they had to reshoot because they didn't get the finish right. So I was at the taping where they didn't get the finish right. So when I saw it on TV, I'm like, oh, this isn't the match I was at. This is crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that happened too. I can't think of any other examples. I know that, oh, no, actually, I can think of all of the Rabbit Tribe being completely different, where they had kind of like Paul London, he had more of like a Bruce Lee Game of Death kind of look mixed with Kick-Ass. And then Cholo and Mariachi Loco, they were still Mala Suerte and Saltador, but they had outfits exactly like El Bunny wears.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, so they had a completely different gimmick. That it was more like a kung fu thing, and then it completely changed the next week, and they came out as Willy Wonka dudes and mixed with Alice in Wonderland, and it worked so much better for them. But it was kind of crazy the difference. Because they had full gear and everything.
Wow,
that's kind of, you know what though? That's kind of cool to experience that live though. Hey, you know what? I saw this, but that's not what they used. You know, I mean, that's cool though. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
There's a lot of examples of that in like the dark matches too. So like,
oh yeah,
like Bale had a whole pirate gimmick that never made it on TV, and
really.
Yeah, which sucked because I marked out for the pirate gimmick, but
Cross told me that he had a great match with Killshot that's never seen the light of day.
Dude, he had a great match with Killshot, but he got kicked in the face so hard that he had a boot print on his face for like 2 weeks. Yeah, Killshot fucked his face up in that match. But you know, it's like one of those things that happens in wrestling, you know. And Cross took it, and he was gracious about it. He wasn't a dick about it. He's not like, now I'm gonna fuck you up. He's like, shit happens. Let's move on. And then we're all like, what the fuck happened to your face, bro? You know.
I got stopped.
Yeah, because Cross has always been a dude that, like, you know, we've been waiting for him to wrestle for so long. He got so many matches in the temple. He wrestled Vinny once, and Vinny won. So that there you go. Vinny has won a match in Lucha Underground.
Todd, that's hot. It was never shown on TV. Look at that, man. We miss it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, there was one that everyone missed. That was a tag match that had Aerostar and Steve Payne on opposite sides, and this is before he came out as Pindar, you know. And it was one of the best matches I've ever seen, and I repeat that as much as I can because it makes Rob Viper sad that he wasn't there to see it. So if he's listening,
nice. Hold on, I got to give a quick shout out to Papa Cueto. Hey, Papa Cueto, this is for you. All right.
Whoa.
Keep buying that beer. I am going to change it to Bud Light next season. Or maybe some Pops Blue Ribbon.
PBRs, oh my God.
Milwaukee's Beast.
all we want are the hipster fans.
That's definitely a scary movie right there.
And I will push Son of Havoc to the title when I get all the hipster fans.
You do a good Papa Cueto. I like that. That's kind of hot. I'm digging it.
Yeah, it has to happen sometimes. It just comes out.
Hey, man, it's all good.
Well, so next week starts, Ultima Lucha Quattro. So, on Halloween.
Yeah, great move, El Rey. Seriously, like, first of all, you're screwing your network twice because a lot of the wrestling fans are going to be doing Halloween stuff, but not me because I have to work, but until 10:30 at night. But but El Rey's missing the opportunity to do a horror marathon on Halloween.
Yeah.
And they have the rights to all these horror movies. I don't know, man. Like, I think just judging from the things you guys watched in preparation for this episode, I think that we can recommend enough horror movies that people can have their own marathon. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Everybody wants to watch scary movies on Halloween. Who wants to watch wrestling, you know?
Right, and I say that if you want to watch horror movies right now, there's two places to go that are kind of your hookup. One everyone should know. One is a little bit more like you have to do your research to realize they have it. And the one that you need to do your research is Amazon Prime streaming. They have a ton of horror movies. Their selection is great. Because Netflix isn't so great with the horror movies. They've been doing a lot of really cool new series that are horror, but they haven't been doing them, right? Like they haven't been buying old movies. Amazon Prime, if you're someone that prefers 80s horror movies like me, great place.
I was watching Scanners the other day on Amazon Prime. There you go.
Yeah, dude. Best head explosion in cinematic history.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hold on, Casey. Hold on. Because I believe it's tied. Because that came along with the head explosion from Story of Ricky.
Okay, yeah, that one's good. The one from The Prowler is pretty good too.
Yes.
And also Halloween has a pretty good one if you guys haven't seen it yet. It's more of a head crushing. It's more of a head crushing, but it's worth your dollars. Let me tell you. But also the one that I want to tell people about is Shudder as well. If you are just like like if you're a horror movie fan and don't want to just watch horror movies to get with the season, right? Like if you're someone who wants to watch them year round, I would suggest Shudder because and I know I'm in good company with you guys on that we watch this shit all the time.
Yeah.
Shudder, I suggest adding it to your Amazon Prime account as a channel because it works better. Their website is a little boo-boo. But they're great. They have all this content. They've got the Joe Bob's Last Drive-In, so you can get some Joe Bob.
Oh, Joe Bob's Drive-In was awesome. I used to love that shit. It was awesome.
Oh, on TNT, right? It used to come on TNT.
TNT and the movie channel before that. And a lot of those, if you look up Joe Bob on YouTube, there's an account that puts all the segments up from those old episodes too, so you can kind of watch along, which is awesome. But yeah, he's someone who kind of changed my life as a horror movie fan because he allowed me to realize you could look at horror movies kind of critically and not be a dick about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't watch horror movies to shit on everything. It's like I went to film school, man. I have a graduate degree in screenwriting, and I still like the cheesiest, most poorly written horror movies because they're fucking fun. You know what I mean?
I was watching Sleepaway Camp last week. I mean,
Great movie.
man. To me, that's a classic, man. To me, that's a classic.
That's one I have to recommend the Joe Bob commentary on. That's on Shudder, because he actually has Angela in the studio with him talking about the movie, and there's all kinds of cool tidbits about it, which is pretty awesome. Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool, man. I mean,
I'm sorry,
just go ahead.
I was going to say, Casey has the Read More Horror Comics podcast, so you check that out because that's
actually that one kind of died out. That one died out, but
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I got a new podcast coming though. We recorded our first episode already.
Cool.
It's with Miserable Pile of Secrets. So if you go to miserablepileofsecrets.com, that's that horror site I mentioned earlier. We actually have a lot of articles and stuff up. You can see me screwing around at Monsterpalooza. You can read some movie reviews, but we have a podcast that's about to go up called Miserable Pot of Secrets. So our first episode is talking about the Halloween movie. We recorded it maybe 5 minutes after we left the theater.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one to check out. That'll go up sometime this weekend. So if you keep your eyes peeled, follow me on Twitter. Follow at MPOS Official on Twitter too, and I'm at Lucha GRINGO. Yeah, you'll see when it drops because we go kind of in depth with it. You might not want to listen to it until you see the movie, but we both give it our greatest recommendation. And also, James, since you said you watched Sleepaway Camp, right?
Yeah, man.
I want to tell you, Amazon Prime Streaming has Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 on there, so you can have yourselves a
nice. I love horror fiction. So let's just get into it right here. Let's just get into it.
Yeah.
To me, growing up, the scariest horror movie to me it's the fucking Omen.
It's a good movie.
I can't stand the music and the chanting in that movie. It just gets me every time, man. The Omen scares the shit out of me, even to this day. I love that movie.
I love that movie. The one, it's like I was allowed to watch horror movies from a very early age. Like I saw Uncut, Nightmare on Elm Street when I was like, not uncut, but like the R-rated.
Yeah,
right. R-rated version. Yeah.
I saw those when I was like 5 years old, right?
Right.
And those
that's the USA version. Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. And it's like I didn't get to see the TV version. I saw the real video store shit with everything intact. And like I saw those and I loved it. And I was Freddy for Halloween in 2nd grade, like everyone else in the whole school, but I was probably one of the only kids that actually saw the movies first. But the one that freaked me out, and I was like 10 or 11 by the time it came out, was the Stephen King's It miniseries. That one really got to me. And I don't know why. Like, I'm not freaked out by clowns or anything, more than a normal person should be, which is a lot. But, I definitely that one got to me more than anything. And you watch it now, and it doesn't hold up as much, and it's kind of
it's laughable right now. Yeah,
except for Tim Curry's performance.
Oh,
man.
Tim Curry absolutely kills it. He kills it.
Yeah, he's creepy as crap on that. I'm trying to swear less, just in general. So,
fuck that.
Yeah, I know. Fudge that, you guys. But no, dude, that movie scared the shit out of me, legit. Like, I'm interested to hear you other guys. What one's got to you?
How do you like the remake?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm a big King fan, and you know what? Because I read it 4 times.
Nice.
And
that's a feat right there, because that's a long.
Yeah, man, that's a big fucking book, man. It's huge. But I thought it was a great movie, man. And you know what? I'm still looking forward towards the sequel, you know?
And I'm also, I'm looking forward to that Pet Sematary remake that's coming.
Yeah, man.
The trailer looks good, dude. Like, really good. Yeah, John Lithgow is the man, too. So, like,
he's a great actor. How about you, Pedro?
Oh, what freaked you out, Pedro? I want to know this.
There's really, I've watched, lots of horror movies. When I was a kid, before I even have memory, I was in love with monsters. So this is a little bit famous about me. I love Godzilla and Bigfoot and cryptids and stuff like that. I've been obsessed with monsters my whole life. But there's only one movie that has ever in my life legit scared me, and it was The Exorcist. And when I saw it, Hurricane Alicia, so this is like August of 1983. So Hurricane Alicia is coming in. We lived in like Groves, Texas at the time. So we're in the path of Hurricane Alicia. So Hurricane Alicia is coming in, and for some reason we're watching The Exorcist on TV. So we're like a big family. So it's like 6 kids, and parents. So it's like 8 people in the living room watching The Exorcist, and the power's occasionally blinking off and stuff because the hurricane's coming in, and The Exorcist is coming on, and I'm just like terrified. It's freaking me out. And like the next day, the power was out for most of the day, and like I refused to go into the restroom because the lights, it's dark in there, and I peed my pants instead of going into the restroom because I was scared of The Exorcist. So that's the only movie that like freaked me out when I was younger.
See, that's the power of filmmaking right there. Literally make you piss yourself.
Yes,
I like it.
How about you, Zeus?
Should I tell him the story?
Yeah.
Tell them the story.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So the first Nightmare on Elm Street, I think I was about 13 when that came, 12 or 13 when that came out, and I thought that was pretty scary. But it wasn't too bad. And then as the franchise moved along, Freddy was kind of he got more and more comedic and less scary. And then 1994 rolls around, and it's Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and that I went to that with my terrible ex-wife and a couple friends, and
it's a monster movie in itself, the ex-wife,
right? And so I'm going in there thinking it's another joke. I kind of got dragged into it, and well, when I was a kid, so when I was really little, like whenever I was scared of the dark or in my room and you hear stuff and you're in an old house and it creaks or whatever, you think that in my head, nothing could get to me because my covers were tucked in and nothing could get underneath the covers between the mattress and the box spring. I was safe. Right? So I'm always safe in the bed. All I got to do is throw the covers over my head, tuck them in underneath my head, my shoulders. I'm safe. Doesn't matter what. That's my thinking. Okay. And so, from little kid to grown up, and in Wes Craven's New Nightmare, the first thing that they did was they gave Freddy the new claw hand with bone and muscle and sinew and, kick-ass looking knives and, which was much scarier than that glove he'd been, that he'd put together with a soldering gun, years ago. And so, that whole image, that set the tone for the movie. Well, then the son of a bitch comes out through the fucking covers. He literally comes out from the safest spot in my brain and literally implants a nightmare into my head. And so, you know, it was late at night when that movie was over. It was dark, you know, and then we went home. I went home. I had a nightmare. I mean, Freddie was there in my dreams coming out of the bed. I woke up screaming. Got out of the bed, went to the couch, and fell asleep right back into that nightmare. I mean, I was back into it, and then I woke up again, and I had to force myself to stay awake, and I had to have our dog curl up with me so I'd feel safe, because I didn't feel safe, you know, there with my terrible ex-wife.
And how was your thunder buddy?
Oh man! But you know what? You can't trust the dog, because Kincaid's dog pissed fire and brought things back to life in part 4.
Yeah,
so you gotta be careful with the dogs too.
So yeah.
Oh my God.
You know,
that shit was
the dog we had at the
scary,
time was the best. She was the best dog in the world. So
that's a crazy story, Zeus. Because that's a crazy story. I'd be scared shitless of that, you know.
I mean, that was really. I mean, it really was. It's like I mean, you know, you never think that, you know, something is going to take something so personal. You know, I mean, at the end, she literally like had to take sleeping pills, crawling under her bed down through the covers to the foot of her bed to go get into the dream world to go rescue her son. And you know, that was one of the first movies that was like, okay, well, this is a movie about the people who played in the movie, because the people were playing themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and it was all, you know, Robert Englund was playing Robert Englund, you know, in the movie. And so it was one of those first few things that, you know, were before it was ever really overdone.
Yeah, that's cool. That's so cool. I think, as I said, it was The Omen that scared the shit out of me. But I think the movie that actually made the most impression on me is George Romero's classic Dawn of the Dead.
Great movie.
It was groundbreaking special effects. It was amazing storytelling, and the social commentary was amazing. Everything about that movie just simply worked.
Yeah, I told you guys on Twitter that I'm more of a Day guy, but that's like picking between your two favorite children, you know, like, because they're two great movies. I like Day just because you got that 1 year advancement for special effects that's even more realistic, I guess. And I mean, there's social commentary there, but it's a lot more bleak, and like everyone sucks and is kind of an asshole in that movie, but or totally an asshole in that movie, but what would really happen if we were in that situation? I mean, like Walking Dead's the same way, right? Like everyone's an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh man,
everyone is Negan.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
especially the comics.
I am Negan. Eat one. Get out of here. Get out of my face.
The Walking Dead TV show, the people are a bit more likable than I found them to be in the comics. In the comics, they're like all sociopaths.
You have to have characters to root for in the TV show, you know. So, I think the original Halloween is a great movie because it was about suspense. It was really good, you know. I'm a big fan of the original Friday the 13th. You know, I thought the remake absolutely sucked. Okay, horrible remake.
I mean, really, if you're talking horror remakes that are good, I can think of like 3. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like they all kind of. Because it used to be 2, but I had to add It to that. So
it is kick ass. It is actually kick ass, man. It's really good.
The dude that's Pennywise is absolutely frightening.
Yeah, and I gotta say my other 2 good remakes are The Fly. You know, the Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, come on.
And
David Cronenberg at his best.
Yeah, and then you got The Thing, which is
yes.
A remake.
Yes.
And I'm not talking the remake / sequel that came out years ago.
You're talking with Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
That was an
awesome movie.
That was you know what? That's the best practical effects movies I've seen.
Yeah, it's between that and American Werewolf in London for me.
Oh
sure.
yeah.
One of the ones that scared me a lot when I was a kid that, you know, I thought was also a good one, you know, that kind of had you kind of gripping up right till the end was Phantasm.
Yeah.
Man, that was a good flick.
You know what's pretty cool is that if you go to Walmart, they have a Phantasm DVD set that has all 5 movies in it. It's not Blu-ray. It's not Blu-ray, but the fact that it has Phantasm 2 with the rest of them is like a major rights issue. There was some major fuckery with those rights, and now it's together. Which actually, I think Phantasm 2 just came out on Blu-ray for the first time like this month because of that stuff. So it used to be like wherever you would go that they'd have the Phantasm movies, like Amazon Prime or Shudder has it. I forget which one. They don't have part 2. And it used to be like HBO would get the rights to just part 2, so you could watch it on HBO, but you couldn't watch it anywhere else. And it like, and it's 2 isn't the best one because they replaced the kid with another dude, and then he comes back in the sequels. So it's like, okay, well, things are a little bit more like what they're supposed to be like in these sequels. But yeah, I love those movies. I still regret to this day not paying to meet Angus Scrimm at Monsterpalooza because he died like a year or 2 later, and I should have done it, damn it. It's the same thing that happened with Jim Kelly, man. I could have met him, and I didn't, and he died like a year or 2 later.
Jim Kelly is fucking a legend, man.
Yeah, I should have done it. He was just talking to a bunch of people, so I didn't want to bother him, and I'm like, oh, I should have bothered him, man. That's fucking Black Belt Jones right there.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. There you go. But, you know, and then, you know, I'm a big fan of the Stephen King movies. I know a lot of people shit on Christine and Cujo, but I love Cujo, man. I thought Cujo was a great flick, you know. I love Pet Sematary, you know. And then, of course, you got Sam Raimi and the Evil Dead trilogy. That was the shit.
I love the Evil Dead films. I love them.
I even like the remake. I even like the remake.
I don't like the remake.
I liked it. I liked
the remake.
Like if you completely divorce it from the Evil Dead mythos and analyze it as its own thing, I think you like it more. Like
yeah, it's a good movie.
To me, it was hot garbage. I was like, throw it in the fire.
Oh, Pedro, what crack are you smoking?
See, that's how one of my friends feels too, and he's one of those people that never hates anything. And the Evil Dead remake's like the one thing he hates. I'm like, wow.
I think it's because those Evil Dead films by Sam Raimi, they're like kind of a holy or something to a generation of us. So
that's
it's
true.
It's like remaking it, like and then I don't know. I didn't like it.
Man, you know that when Glenn dies in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1, Johnny Depp's character, he's watching the Evil Dead.
Yes.
Yeah. And Evil Dead was one of the last films that used the Ray Harryhausen style of filming, right?
Oh, with the stop motion stuff.
Yeah.
I could probably verify that, but it would involve waking up a friend that's probably asleep right now. That's a big Harryhausen fan.
Nah, that's all good.
my homie Kevin that did the Read More Horror Comics podcast with me. He's a big Harryhausen guy, big stop motion guy.
Yeah.
Him and Sean both that did the podcast with me. They're big stop motion guys. They're animators by trade, but
cool.
Yeah, dude, Harryhausen is the shit. Like,
yeah, man.
There used to be this really cool store down in Burbank called Creature Features that had all this really rare Harryhausen merch, like model kits and stuff like that, and they closed, and I'm still sad about it, man. It's been like 6 months, and I'm still sad, you know.
Who doesn't love the Harryhausen Sinbad movies?
Right, and Clash of the Titans, man. I see those remakes. But Clash of the Titans.
The remakes suck, man.
Yeah.
The remakes suck. Harry Hamlin all the way.
Oh yeah. Who still looks like that? That dude is a vampire, man.
Any good vampire movies you guys like or no?
Oh, dude. Okay, this is one that a lot of people don't like.
Salem's Lot. Zeus. There you go. That's a great flick. That's a good flick.
Have you guys seen The Forsaken? And I'm talking the one that was probably late 90s, early 2000s?
Yes.
I have not seen this, no.
I love that movie so much, and it's kind of polarizing. People love it or hate it, and it didn't do well in the box office, which sucks because the ending leaves everything open for sequels, and then there never was one. But yeah, it's a vampire road movie about dudes going through Route 66 and vampires that live in the trunks of cars and shit, so people can drive them around.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah. It's a fun movie. I loved it. I saw it in the theater. It was one of the first DVDs.
I do remember this. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah, I recommend that. But I mean, like, if you want more traditional, can't go wrong with like a Christopher Lee Dracula movie.
Oh yeah, the Hammer films.
Well, yeah, all the Hammer films are classic. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's my favorite Dracula. I mean, I love Bela Lugosi, but you know, he's no Christopher Lee. Because I feel like Christopher Lee brings a menace to the Dracula role, right?
Right.
I did like the Frank Langella Dracula, though.
Oh, his was great, and you know, decent Skeletor. I got to give my hats off to him for that too.
The Meef was mentioning Nosferatu. I was going to say that one. I love silent films. I love silent films in general. Which tonight I'm going to watch some silent films in a theater with a band playing. But
oh hell yeah, dude! I've seen some stuff like that where they do like Caligari and Nosferatu and stuff like that, and I've always wanted to go. So I'm jealous, man. That sounds awesome.
Well, the thing I'm seeing tonight is for some French director, but yeah, Nosferatu is awesome. Yeah, Near Dark. What's that one I watched on Sunday, James? Let the Right One In. I really like that a lot.
That movie is one of my all-time favorites. I like the remake. It's okay. It's not bad, but the original kills it. It kills.
It's awesome that we're talking about that in the same episode as Sleepaway Camp, but I won't say why. I won't say why for people who haven't seen either one. But yeah, man, I gotta say, like, if you guys love the original Nosferatu, some people don't like it. I think it's dope. Like
it's a classic. How can you not like it?
Have you guys seen the '70s one with Klaus Kinski?
Yes.
That one rules, man. His makeup is dope. He's like hanging out with rats in the sewers and shit. It's awesome. Like, I recommend that, and I also recommend the companion piece, Shadow of the Vampire. I think that's what it's called. You know, the one where John Malkovich is Nosferatu and the real vampire? Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And in a way,
he's Max Shrek.
Exactly. Yeah, he plays Max Shrek. Yeah.
In some ways, Zeus, you mentioned Salem's a lot, right?
That's a great movie.
The vampire design is basically Nosferatu there as well.
Yes.
Oh yeah, for Marlowe. Yeah.
Yes.
I thought Salem's Lot was a good movie, only because to me, because it seemed like it could happen in like any town USA, you know?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I live in a small town, guys. Like, those small town horror movies seem to resonate with me more because I live in Castaic, which is technically kind of the boonies. I mean, I'm only like 10 minutes away from civilization. Like, I'm 10 minutes away from Six Flags Magic Mountain, right? The theme park.
Oh, wow.
But, but it's considered the boonies, and I'm pretty far out there to some people. Like, if you're an LA person, they go like, "Oh my God, that's so far." It's like a half hour, 45 minutes, you know. But with LA traffic,
I love that. People say so far, it's only 30 minutes away. Shut up.
Yeah, it's like if it's LA traffic, though, you never know.
Yeah.
They filmed parts of Hellraiser 3 here in Greensboro.
Oh,
nice!
I saw that in the theaters.
Yeah,
I love that one, man. Like that was in my opinion, that's the last good one. I wasn't a big fan of Bloodlines.
Right.
I thought Bloodlines absolutely sucked.
Yeah. Oh man. You know how you can tell it sucked? Just watch the opening credits. It says it's an Alan Smithy film. So the director did not want their name put on it. Yeah. They used a fake name instead of getting saddled with being the director for that movie.
There you go.
The first Hellraiser especially was very creepy to me.
Yeah, man, the first Hellraiser was good. It was gory as fuck too.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
When I was younger, like I said, I love I've just loved monsters my whole life. So like with a lot of the horror movies, it was like, does this look cool? You know, is the monster cool looking? Is the gore cool? So like with stuff like that, it wasn't creepy to me. It was like, whoa, he's got a bunch of pins sticking out of his head. He looks creepy. Or the guy who's like has the sunglasses and his mouth is kind of pulled back open and the chatterbox or whatever.
Yeah.
You got the chatter. You got Butterball. You got the girl one that freaks people out. You know.
Yeah, Meef, Fright Night. I hear you, Meef. Yep, good movie.
Oh yeah, Fright Night's great. I actually also enjoyed the remake a little bit, but not as much as the original. But like, I saw it in the theater. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was great, but like I've seen far shittier as far as remakes go. You know what I mean?
I was a fan of Creepshow too. I was a big fan of Creepshow.
Oh yeah, Creepshow 1 and 2. I also got.
Where's my cake, Bedelia?
Oh yeah, and then 2, the big lines. Thanks for the ride, lady. Oh
yeah. Where's my cake, Bedelia?
You know, when in Fright Night, what was really memorable to me was when the vampire went to what was his Evil Eddie?
Yeah.
You know, and he's just he's like, he knows he's fucked. You know, he's like, it's like, hey man, turn me. I know I'm screwed, but you know, whatever it is, you know, I mean, it's like, you know, that was. I thought that was pretty emotional.
I feel like I would have made the same decision. I would have broed up to the vampire a little more. I'd be like, dude, you know, I'm not getting any younger. Hook a brother up.
Well, if you want to talk about vampire films, come on. How about Lost Boys?
Oh, a great movie. Yeah, that.
Loved it.
Yeah,
great soundtrack.
Frog Brothers.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Shirtless saxophone playing and everything.
Driving all the teenagers wild back in the 80s.
that dude comes to a lot of horror conventions, and that guy is still ripped as shit, man. Like, yeah, that dude still keeps in shape. Because he probably has to do like shirt off photos with people holding a saxophone. So he's like, yeah, better hit the gym. But yeah, it's pretty funny because like that movie, like I feel like it goes in waves of getting like the appreciation it deserves. They just did I think they're Funko store exclusives, but you can get a 2-pack of the Frog Brothers as pop figures that it either just came out or it's about to, and I'm down for that.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty into that idea. That's kind of cool, man.
Yeah,
I love the comic book store too.
Oh yeah, dude, we gotta. If you want to talk horror comics, man, I could do another 3 podcasts on that shit. There's actually one that's out right now that I want to recommend to you guys. It might be a little hard to find in the stores, but you can get it digitally on Comixology. It's called Spook House 2.
Oh.
So there's this company called Albatross Press, and they do every Halloween they do a weekly comic called Spook House. So every single week an issue comes out. Last year, there were 5 weeks in October. So they had 5 issues. This year, there's only 4. But they call them horror comics that are suitable for kids, right? But they're all hilarious. And there's in-jokes that there's no way kids will get. Like there's Pumpkinhead references and all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's a variety of artists and writers. But, man, I'm forgetting his name right now. But the main dude that's doing it is... you know what? Eric Powell. I got an issue of The Goon in front of me. It's the dude that does The Goon. So you know the art and the writing is going to be on point.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he's like one of the main guys every issue. But yeah, it's an anthology, so it's a bunch of little stories. Kind of makes you feel like you're reading Creepy or Eerie or Tales from the Crypt or something. But there's a lot of parodies of existing movies. Like you guys mentioned Christine. So there's one called Christina about a killer go-kart that starts possessing a guy. And yeah, it's really fun stuff. The cover of issue 4 is an alien parody, and it says in space, no one can tell if you pee your pants. It's 2 part. Good times. Nice. Yeah, so it's like they say it's fit for kids, but I'd say it's more like if Mad Magazine. Yeah, okay. Like it's weird to say if Mad Magazine did Tales from the Crypt because they were literally the same company back in the day, but it literally was the Mad artists and writers doing Tales from the Crypt back in the 50s. But if the current Mad Magazine did a Tales from the Crypt, that's what you would get.
That sounds actually sounds really cool, man. That's cool.
And I got to go back on Comixology and get Spook House 1 from last year because I didn't even read any of those. And you know, just seeing the concept in action this year makes me want to go back and buy all those old ones, which is pretty cool.
That's kind of cool. I take a lot of shit for liking because I take a lot of shit for liking a space vampire movie called Life Force.
Oh, dude, that movie rules.
Casey, thank you, brother. Thank you. I take so much shit for liking that movie. Let me tell you.
You know, James, I gotta tell you, bro. If anyone gives you shit for liking any movie that's from Canon Pictures, they're just bad people. Just shrug those haters off because they don't know how great Canon is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I need to see that documentary.
New Line Cinema.
Superman 4, Quest for Peace.
Oh man, see, that one they might be justified.
Everybody gave me shit for liking Life Force. They said, "Oh, you know, you just like it for the naked chick." I said, "Nah, man, it's got Jean-Luc Picard in it. What's wrong with you?"
Yeah,
which is funny because like if you see young Jean-Luc Picard, he still looks old.
Yeah,
he's kind of like Art Anderson, you know.
Yeah,
I've seen some Shakespeare.
Arn's looking pretty old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you look at Art in the '80s and you're like, dude, he looks like he was like my friend's dad, you know.
he looks like he was 38 for about 25 years.
YYHH in the chat because actually because she's actually not saying we're seeing the Asian horror movies. Hey, yes, I love Audition.
I gotta say, with the ones that she mentioned, I gotta throw in Shaolin versus Evil Dead. Great movie. If you guys haven't seen it, track it down. It is good times. You can probably get it on DVD for like $3, but it's worth all three of those dollars.
Really?
But yeah, it's a hopping vampire movie. And also, like, if we ever get into a ninja episode and fully talk about the greatness that is Godfrey Ho, he did some vampire/zombie movies that had Chinese hopping vampires in them. Because he was famous for buying unfinished movies and then adding his own shit, right? And usually it was ninjas that he would add. Well, this time he got some bullshit gambling movie and turned it into a Chinese hopping vampire movie.
Oh my god!
Nice.
And I can't think of the name, but I'll figure it out and I'll tweet it or something. And
sounds good. That's cool.
It's terrible, but we're watching.
I'm a fan of Audition. I love that movie. I like the torture shit. It's a great movie. To me, it's a great movie. I love that shit.
That's one of those movies that you can recommend to someone and actually have it kind of fuck them up.
Yeah.
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 I like Ringu. I like Ringu a lot.
Yeah, it's a classic. That's a classic.
I hate the remake. I hate the U.S. remake.
I don't think the American remake is that bad. I don't. It's good. No. It's not better than the original. I love Ringu.
I didn't like it.
My favorite Japanese horror movie, like, barely classifies as one, but there's some pretty creepy scenes in there. It's I think it was released here as Samurai Reincarnation. Sonny Chiba's in it. It's called Makai Tensho in Japan, and it's a bunch of historical samurai characters coming back from the dead and raging war on the living. And so Sonny Chiba's in it. He plays Jubei Yagyu, but Miyamoto Musashi becomes a blood-sucking pervert vampire.
What?
And it's kind of amazing. Yeah, and
I gotta see this.
Yeah, the leader of like the spirits is Amuksa Shiro, who's he was like the boss of the first Samurai Showdown game. Like but he's based on a real dude. And because basically a bunch of people tried bringing Christianity in Japan and got like beheaded and their heads put on spikes and shit. And it's those spirits that start claiming the famous Japanese characters and using them to wage war on the living, but they never finished the story either, because it stops like right when they're about to like actually go rage war. So there's a remake that actually has a sequel that shows you what happens, but Sonny Chiba's not in that, so I didn't see it. But it also was like $60 on DVD back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was an import and it was hard to get. But yeah, so Samurai Reincarnation, if you can find that, check it out.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. It's the perfect mix of martial arts and horror together.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I'm a fan. Also, I'm a fan of the old school Universal monster movies.
Oh,
Yes.
big fan, and I cannot recommend getting those on Blu-ray enough because they made
I
those
have a
beautiful.
collection. I got the whole collection thing that, you know, I got the whole headpieces and everything. I love Frankenstein, I like the Mummy, Dracula, the Wolfman, classic. Well, I'll change you, Junior, baby. Come on.
Yeah, and when dude, those Blu-ray versions have the craziest special features. Like you can watch Bela Lugosi Dracula, right? With commentary from the dudes who made Dracula Dead and Loving It with Leslie Nielsen. Talking about how they pulled stuff from the movie. I'm like, this is so random that exists, but I love that it exists, you know? And they cleaned up the image so great. Like, because, you know, you used to watch that on TV and, like, it was so battered up that, like, the black looked like light gray and the white looked like horrible gray. Now the black looks black, you know? And it's like, all right, I can see this movie the way it might have been originally seen, which is cool.
I think the second movie that they had on TV in 3D when you would go to 7-Eleven and get the 3D glasses was
oh my God,
Creature.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was a Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah,
and
if I'm not Universal.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that was Clint Eastwood's. Wasn't that his first role? He was like he's just like had like a tiny little throwaway bit part in the lab at the beginning, I think.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, I gotta check that out. Zeus, you throw
he had like one or two lines.
I didn't even know he was in there.
I'm like, I even own the movie. I don't even know he was in there. Look at that.
Yeah, shit, man. That got me too.
He was in Revenge of the Creature.
Second one. Yeah.
The second one?
That's the one I've only seen like one time. That's the one where he gets out in the water park. So it's like Creature versus SeaWorld kind of. Yeah, which that's a fun movie. I mean, it's kind of weird, you know, when you think about it, because like Universal, they're casting a pretty wide net when they consider him one of the Universal monsters. Even though he's a monster, he's from Universal. That shit came out like 20 years later than all the other ones.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because it came out in the 50s, right? In the 50s
I think the first one was 54 and 53. And yeah, man, like great movies though. I'm not complaining. I'm just stating, not hating. But no, dude, I wish they would do more with that monster license. It would be great. I like that, you know. It seems to be increasing lately, the stuff that they're doing. So
yeah,
I'm happy with that because
it's wasted character right there.
Yeah, and plus, like, if you do Karloff version Frankenstein merchandise, I'm gonna want to buy it. You know,
I mean, come on, man, he's a definitive Frankenstein. He is Frankenstein.
Yeah,
Frankenstein's monster. Yes,
Frankenstein's monster. Yes, thank you for correcting me.
It's a pet peeve of mine. It's Frankenstein's monster.
No, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Frankenstein's monster. Even though I do love Young Frankenstein by Mel Brooks, awesome movie.
Oh, wonderful movie. Oh man, I've seen that too many times. Because I used to work at a year-round Halloween store.
Oh wow,
nice.
Yeah, we would play that in the background a lot when we worked. The putting on the Ritz bit never stops me. And it's kind of weird because customers will hear that, like not knowing what movie it's from, and then like they're like, "What the hell are you guys watching?" But
how about the Blob? How about the Blob?
You know, okay, that's got to go on my remake list. Actually, the practical effects of the '80s version. Oh, dude, amazing. People get wrecked in that movie, and I'm pretty sure that one's available on Amazon Prime, I think.
I love Kevin Dillon, man. He kills it.
Oh, yeah, dude. That whole movie, man, like, it's one of those ones where I saw as a kid, and I didn't watch it again until I was an adult, and I was mad at myself for not making it a part of my life for all those years.
We should get into werewolf movies like before we run out of time. What are some of your favorite werewolf movies?
I'll let you guys go first because I got to think about it a little bit. Because I like them a lot. And I know my answer is probably just going to be American Werewolf in London, but I'll let you guys go first.
I think I'm with you right there, Casey, man. Because it has to be American Werewolf in London. I don't want to hear shit about Underworld. No, thank you, please. It's a fucking action movie. Okay. No. I don't want to hear anything about Underworld. No.
CGI werewolves don't count.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck that.
I always love The Howling.
The classic.
The transformation scene for me was like incredible when I was younger. I was like, oh, I love this.
Except when D. Wallace turns into a puppy. No, I was
right.
You know.
She goes to a lot of monster conventions. I think she was at the last Monsterpalooza, actually.
But I didn't like, I wasn't a fan of Wolf. It was all right, it's okay. I thought Benicio del Toro did a good in Wolfman. It was a reimagining of the Universal Wolfman. It was all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's a great Blu-ray though. It has mad crazy fucking extras.
That's awesome.
I love Silver Bullet. Have you all seen Silver Bullet?
Is one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's on right now. It's on AMC right now.
Really? I'm too old to be playing Hardy Boys Meet Reverend Werewolf.
Yeah.
You know what my pet peeve about that movie is that I didn't notice until recently is that Corey Haim is dressed exactly like Gilligan through the whole movie. And I never noticed it. All he needs is the hat and someone to call him Little Buddy, dude.
Oh my God. It'd be funny if someone does call him Little Buddy in that movie and we never picked up on it before.
I feel like that was the first Stephen King book I ever read was Cycle of the Werewolf because it had all those gory ass drawings by Bernie Wrightson in it.
Right.
And then it became Silver Bullet, and I gotta say, book is way better than the movie.
10 times better than the movie. 10 times better than the movie.
Because you know what? The movie... His wheelchair is like a motorcycle in the movie. He didn't have that shit in the book, and that made it way scarier. Like, he can just drive away,
I met Bernie Wrightson before he died.
Oh wow!
Really?
Awesome.
Really?
Yes. Him and his wife
cool,
were just they were super awesome. They came to the Parts Unknown show that John used to have. John Hitchcock, who owns the Parts Unknown comic book store here in Greensboro. He's a huge Alex Toth fan, and he was him and Alex Toth were friends. And but he became friends with some of the guys like Bernie, and Bernie came to one of the shows, and I mean just so nice. Just to see his original art, hold it in your hand, and just look at all that detail and everything. Oh, he's incredible. And he was amazing. He was a treasure.
Oh,
absolute.
That's
treasure,
awesome,
man.
Zeus. Good job, brother. Good job.
That's cool, man. And Alex Toth, man, great as well. He just got a hardcover by Creepy/Eerie. That's a collection of his work too. But if I had to tell you to buy one, I'd tell you to buy Bernie Wrightson. If I had to tell you to buy two, I'd tell you to buy the Steve Ditko one first. So he's probably like third place there. But yeah, man. As you guys know, I love horror comics, but I got to throw another werewolf movie at you guys.
All right.
No, go ahead.
So there is actually a series, and what sucks is they're not easy to get right now. There's one on Amazon Prime, but it's censored. This dude, Paul Naschy, that did movies in Spain, he did Hombre Lobo movies, and holy shit, they rule. But you have to get like the uncensored versions because it was when Spain was still under the dictatorship and kind of
right.
censored the shit out of everything. So you got to see the international versions. And what sucks is the ones that are on Amazon Prime right now are cut from the Spanish versions. So kind of sucks. So you have to get them on like Blu-ray. There's like the Paul Naschy collection, but his movies are awesome, and he's a recurring character in all of them. He's a dude, and it's got good transformations. He actually fucking wrecks people and murders the shit out of them too. It's awesome.
Fucking Zero said ginger snaps. Yeah, man. Yeah, ginger snaps.
And Dog Soldiers. Meave mentioned Dog Soldiers.
Dog Soldiers is great. You know, if you guys ever do a podcast that is just dedicated to werewolf movies, you got to get my buddy Kevin on, because they're his favorite monster, and he definitely would have. I think he'd say The Howling's his favorite. I'm pretty sure. He's gonna hear this and get mad at me because I fucked up and it's some other movie, but you know what? We talk about The Howling a lot. But yeah, it's pretty cool because like werewolf movies, they give you a lot of options for the way you can go, and I feel like that's like got the most potential to be used in a different way that we haven't seen yet. So like I feel like we haven't seen the last of those. You know what I mean?
A quick, I just want to quickly mention the Hammer film Curse of the Werewolf, and also the original Wolfman or whatever, and then that werewolf TV show. Did any of y'all watch that? Because I was crazy about that show.
I like that one. That was on Fox, right? Yeah. I'm digging that one. Yeah. I was digging that one. Let's get the shit out of me.
Complete ripoff of Silver Bullet, but
yeah. Zero, what's up, brother? Zero joined the chat.
Oh, dude, yeah, I haven't seen that guy in our chat for a while. Thanks for stopping by, bro. MMM show, what's up? No, this whole werewolf thing, just like that TV series, I used to watch it back to back. It was good. Sci-Fi used to play the whole series. Like they would go like 13 weeks or whatever and play the whole thing, because they used to have this thing called the series collection where they'd play a cool show that got canceled after one season. Because Sci-Fi channel type shows like sci-fi and horror shows get canceled.
Sci-Fi's the shit, man.
Yeah, I was watching it when it was airing originally.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
I was a kid. Yeah, I was a kid. Yeah.
And because I think it was on our. I think it was on our Fox affiliate here.
Yeah.
It might have been on like channel 9 or something. Yeah, man. Yeah, so it would have been our channel 11 here. Yeah, we have some weird TV stations here in LA that have been around like forever. That aren't affiliated with one of the big networks. So like they eventually became one. Like our channel 13 became UPN, and our channel 5 became WB, and it's our CW now. But like we used to have all these independent stations, so we got some horror stuff that I don't think we talked about yet. Well, we definitely didn't talk about, but should, because I want to know if you guys had them in your area, and that's horror hosts on television. Yeah. Because I was lucky enough, like California, we had Elvira when I was growing up. She was a person.
Elvira was in New York too. Oh yeah.
And she was our main person, because Vampira was our person before that, and she took over for her. If you ask Vampire, it completely stole her character, and there was like lawsuits and shit like that. But
I used to love the Famous Monsters magazine, man. That was good shit.
I have every issue of that.
Really? Oh, wow. Vampire, yeah. That's where I discovered her.
I have a digital version, which is like, I got it on ioffer.com. I don't know how legal it is that the person's selling it, but it's one of those things where like I see every issue of Famous Monsters on DVD, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy this. And then you get it, and you're like, this looks really homemade. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, it has kind of like professional looking labels and stuff, but I don't know if it's legally licensed. But they're not doing anything with their archives like they should be, because like that magazine's still going strong. Yeah. Also, you got Fangoria just came back.
Really?
Yeah, that's an old school mag. School mag.
It's a really nice magazine. Unfortunately, if you don't subscribe, they're charging $20 an issue for it.
Whoa!
What?
And and you can't get it at bookstores. Yeah, you can't get it at bookstores. You have to get it at Barnes and Noble.
They can kiss my entire ass.
I mean, not Barnes and Yeah, you got to get it at comic book stores. It's direct market only. But yeah, see, I subscribe so I don't pay that much. I can never see myself paying that much, so I subscribe to it. And now, so for me, it's like so like 60 divided by 4. I'm not a math person. It's probably still like, yeah, it's like $15 an issue, which is still kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's still nuts, man. Yeah, I got two words for them.
Yeah, if you want like your best value for subscribing, I suggest subscribing to Horror Hound magazine, and it's Horror Hounds. I have to enunciate, or people think I'm into prostitutes. Horror, not horror. And it's one of those things where like people get a completely different idea of you if you don't pronounce it properly. But yeah, that magazine's great. It has like some good focus on collectibles that other magazines don't do.
Cool.
And they do retrospectives of cool shit every issue, where they do like a 10-page article on like one movie or a concept or like series of movies, and that's always fun. Rue Morgue magazine, also recommend that. They're expensive to subscribe to because they're from Canada, but so you don't get much of a discount subscribing. But they're also included in this thing called the Rue Morgue Coffin Box, which is kind of like Loot Crate for horror fans. And so that's how I subscribe to that, and it's kind of cool. Yeah, because you get other shit with it. Like you get a shirt, so it's like $30 every 2 months. You get the magazine.
I just have to say one thing. I'm sorry to interrupt, Casey.
Go ahead.
I just got to say one thing. Real vampires don't fucking sparkle.
No, they don't.
Okay.
No, they do not.
No. Okay. That's all I wanted to say.
Real vampires, you throw them in the sun, they're fucking dead. That's
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and one other thing, Meef wanted me to remind you that I did see Sting pin Mean Mark live and in person.
That was just Mean Mark, dude. It's like I saw, it's not like I saw that's like saying, I heard
Mean Mark dropped the Sting, really?
I heard this Blade Runner Sting guy left the UWF because he was getting hit too hard, couldn't cut it. That was actually the Warrior. It was Warrior. Sting stuck around. I just made a little mistake. Because Sting stuck around until the death of the company, actually, being bought by WCW. Warrior's like, fuck this, you guys hit too hard, I'm out.
Zeus, are you gonna heal on the real Zeus?
No,
dude.
On the real Zeus.
I saw him at Monsterpalooza, actually, or I saw his table and he wasn't at it, or I would have got a picture with him.
Big, tiny Lister.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to, talk to him about. The No Holds Barred, the match, the movie.
Yes.
I just wanted to punch him on the left side of his face so his eyeball goes straight. That's all I wanted to do.
No.
See, what you
Fifth Element was good, though.
Is you gotta get him.
He did a pretty good job in Fifth Element.
Yeah, he did. He was the president of the United States.
Of Earth, I thought. Yeah.
My favorite was that he was in was No Holds Barred, for sure. The movie that basically created the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Pretty much.
No, but Stan Hansen stole the show. He stole the show.
Teeny tiny wieners.
Teeny tiny wieners.
What do we got here? A couple of.
Stan Hansen's awesome. I would love to go out to a bar with him one day. Just hear stories all day long.
Amigos, we could talk forever.
Yeah, man.
This has been so much fun, but we're running out of time. Casey, thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Thanks so much, man, for getting up early for us, man.
Anytime you guys want to talk about weird genre shit, hit me up and I'm down.
Cool.
So,
Thanks, bro.
where can everyone find you online and so forth?
Okay, so the big one, because it's the one that I sunk the most time and effort into, is miserablepile.secrets.com. All one word. And you can follow us on Twitter at MPOSofficial. But that's not me. That's Zach running that shit. So follow me personally on Twitter at Lucha Gringo. And
everybody out there yet? Follow Lucha Gringo. There it is. I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody that was in the chat today. Meef, YYHH, Angie, Zero. Holla to everybody in the chat hanging out with us. Thank you so much. And a special thanks to Casey for getting up real early on the West Coast. Thanks, brother. Good looking out, man.
No problem. And this one's for you, Meef. Penis. There you go. Every time we end the MMM show, okay, this is a little inside baseball, but every time we end the MMM show, I yell penis really loud to see if Justin can cut the show off before it goes through. So if you listen to the end of each MMM show that I'm on, you can see if we got it in or not.
All right, that's awesome. Thanks, man. Awesome. Thanks to everybody for listening. Thanks for everybody for hanging in the chat. Have a great Saturday. Have a great weekend, and do it up Modelo style, baby.
We'll see y'all next week. Adios.
Go play some Red Dead. Boom.